I know that you guys are asked a lot, and everyone will ask you, what are you going to do? Where are you going? What are your plans? Is there a lot of pressure?
So I am the firstborn child in my family to be born in America. Both of my parents are immigrants from Togo, West Africa. So, you know, since I was little, they were like, okay, I did not do all this work. I did not, I did not do all this work, make all this money for you to like not do well when you're older. And especially like my mom, for example, she is a whole lawyer. She owns her own law firm and she has multiple small businesses. And I'm like, and she did it all at such a young age too. So I'm like, wow, for me, like I gotta step up my game. And so definitely like once kind of 8th grade hit, that was like when the questions started rolling in for my family, like, so what do you want to be? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go to college? In 8th grade, and it was like, college? I ain't even in high school yet.
Okay, you don't have to know right now.
Yeah.
It's okay, it's okay. I just want to give you a hug. I know there's a lot of pressure, and there's probably academic pressure too.
I always got told when I was little, you know, turn your passions into what you're doing. Like whatever you're passionate about, that's what you have to do, because if you're not enjoying your job, then why are you doing it? And so then it did dig, like as I got older and as I got into high school, it did like, man, what am I passionate about? What really do I want to speak about? Like, how do I want to change the world? How do I want to leave my footprint? And then, you know, you looked more into it, and like now I'm thinking about being a pediatric psychologist and going into like doing that kind of stuff because that's what I'm passionate about. And I think, you know, there is so much pressure to it. Like, you know, oh, you got to decide like right now, like now is like tomorrow. You have to know exactly what you want to do. But like that needs to like stop. Like it's okay not to know what you want to do when you go to college.
Aran, I want you to talk about this because you're going to hold off on college for now. Was that a hard decision for you, and are people pressuring you to go to school?
Yeah, and actually where I knew that I didn't want to go to school at that point was I was talking to, he was Governor Ricketts at the time, and this was at his business summit. And he's like, are you going to school? And then he was like, well, you're doing what you're doing now, and so I don't think that you should, or something like that. And then when he said that, I'm like, that's interesting coming from him. But I was like, I thought about it, and I started talking to other people. And then once I kind of put my plans in place, I've been doing what I've been doing since I was a freshman, and then learning the management role. So I'm like, I could either choose to take the money and invest it into going to college, or I could take the money into investing what I know is already making me money. So I chose that. But where I see myself, I like to put life into what I want to do. So I like to say I will. So I will list my stock on the New York Stock Exchange. That's something I want to do for my company. So I want to build a big company and then be a steward to the world through the aid of financial literacy, because in a lot of minority households, we lack knowing financial abundance, knowing what to do with our finances, and I think that's the reason why sometimes we don't prosper as much as others. So
Who taught you?
Who taught me? I'm a Google fanatic, so I like to use technology to my heart, but my mom always instilled to me with love that anything that you like put on your mind, go for it and do it and take the risk, because the worst that you can do is don't start.
I wouldn't say pressure to know what I want to do, but like I am figuring it out. Like I want to be on Broadway. I want to publish a comic series. Like there's so much I want to do. I want to be able to work with kids, like even just like at a daycare, or maybe even as a child grief counselor to help kids through that. You know, there's so much that I want to do. I'm not even 100% sure if I want to go to college for art or acting yet. And it's like, all I know is that I don't want to be working a 9-to-5, because that does not sound fun at all.
My mom was a teen mom with my sister and stuff like that, and she went to college raising me, and now she's an occupational therapist. So there's definitely a lot of pressure for me to succeed too. My sister's now a speech pathologist, and so you know, it's a lot of pressure put on me. My mom definitely wants me to go to med school and to become some type of doctor or something like that. But I think also coming close to my senior year, there's a lot of pressure on me to decide what I want to do with the rest of my life, especially, you know, if I want to play college ball.
I don't really have a lot of pressure on me. If I want to continue playing like sports in high school and college, I just have to like be good and like try my best and get good grades.
I don't think there was a lot of pressure. I mean, obviously there was the question of like, what do you want to be when you get out of college or high school? I mean, I know younger I was like, oh, I want to do all these things. I want to write a book. I want to act. But like my mom has always said, narrow on your strengths, which is wildlife and educating people about wildlife. So like obviously I'll go to college to get the general stuff done, but I want to transfer to a university and maybe do wildlife biology or something like that, you know.
Right.
Pressure is definitely on with me. In my household, if it's not an A, it's a fail. So, as much as my family may disagree with it, that's what it feels like to me. And I've always been in all honors. I've been in gifted programs, you know, so when they're like, oh yeah, you're not going to be in honors this year because your schedule doesn't fit or whatever, my family freaks out. They're like, why aren't you in honors? And I'm like, because it doesn't fit in my schedule. I don't know. And it's just like, it's on. And for years, it's always been, what do you want to be? Where do you want to go?
For me, the pressure is on, I guess. I'm a jack of all trades, master at none. I like drawing, reading, playing volleyball. I used to play the violin and figured out classical was not for me. I wanted to be on Broadway. I just feel like, I don't know, the world really is trying to pull me away from acting, but I'm a great actor. Like throughout my whole life and my journey, I always had to fake everything, pretend everything, you know. For me, like what I want to be, I could never take in my biological parents' opinions of what I should be because yeah, anyway. I let people in, but they could only see my fake smiles. Going into foster care, I learned that crying was not a weakness because Father always said that you're weak, stop doing that. And so when I heard that crying wasn't a weakness, I cried like so much. I was like, finally I can like groan, I can moan, I can wail, like I can let my voice out while crying. I think if I were to choose for myself, I want to be someone who is able to uplift everyone in the world. Someone who a lot of people look up to, not for fame, but for like appreciation and like adoration. Someone who is able to like move people, you know, their hearts.
I feel like you're already inspiring.
That's very appreciative. I'm so thankful. I am so happy to be on here too. Like, it just means a lot to me that I could share everything with you guys and with the world. I mean, with Omaha. I truly want the world to like know that there's so many things that you can't see. Like so many people other than celebrities that need their stories to be told.